Released in North America in 1989, the TurboGrafx-16 by NEC and Hudson Soft marked an ambitious entry into the 16-bit gaming era. The console boasted impressive features and an arcade-quality game library, including stellar ports of hits like R-Type and Splatterhouse. This highlighted its advanced graphics and sound capabilities. Moreover, it was the first gaming system to introduce a CD-ROM add-on, the TurboGrafx-CD, which allowed for games with full motion video and CD-quality audio, offering a storage capacity far surpassing traditional cartridges. Despite these innovations and technical strengths, the TurboGrafx-16 struggled to capture a significant market share in North America. It faced tough competition from established players like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, which enjoyed stronger brand recognition and more robust third-party support. Strategic missteps also played a part, such as the high pricing of the console and accessories, an unappealing pack-in game, and a lack of high-profile exclusive titles. Ultimately, the TurboGrafx-16 was discontinued in 1994 after selling about 2.5 million units. Though it didn't achieve the commercial success of its rivals, it left a lasting impact on the gaming industry and maintains a dedicated fanbase that cherishes its legacy as a console that was both innovative and ahead of its time. In today's episode, let's take a look at the top 25 games that thrived on this console. Bonks Adventure. In Bonks Adventure, you get to go back to a wild, prehistoric world where our hero Bonk, a bald, strong cave boy, takes center stage. His quest? To rescue the kidnapped Princess Sa from the clutches of the nefarious King Drool. Bonk isn't just any cave boy. He's equipped with a massive, indestructible forehead he uses to bonk his foes, sending anthropomorphic dinosaurs and quirky prehistoric creatures flying. The gameplay here offers you challenges and quirky power-ups. As Bonk, you explore through vibrant levels, collecting fruits and veggies to heal up, and snagging pieces of meat that supercharge Bonk with special abilities. Smack the ground to stun enemies, or reach an invincible rage mode that makes you unstoppable for a short burst. Every bonked enemy adds to your score, and finishing off a level's boss feels immensely satisfying as you tally up your smiley points. For TurboGrafx-16 enthusiasts, Bonks Adventure is a gem that showcases the console's capabilities with its colorful graphics and super smooth animation, making it a standout title in the platform genre. This one wasn't just any ordinary game on the TurboGrafx-16, it's a bonktastic journey through time that's sure to keep you on your toes. Bomberman 93. Bomberman 93's plot is as explosive as its gameplay. Black Bomberman has gone rogue, stealing 7 critical chips from the Pan-Galactic Bureau's mother computer and scattering them across the cosmos. Enter White Bomberman, the ace detective, tasked with traveling through the Magellan solar system to retrieve these chips and restore order. The gameplay remains true to the beloved Bomberman formula. You'll navigate maze-like stages, strategically placing bombs to clear paths and obliterate enemies. Each bomb detonates in a cross-shaped explosion that can chain react with nearby bombs. The single-player mode spans 7 unique worlds, each with 8 levels full of destructible blocks, sneaky enemies, and interactive elements like conveyor belts and teleporters. Boss battles at the end of each world ramp up the challenge, while power-ups hidden in blocks can boost your bomb count or firepower, making you a force to be reckoned with. On the multiplayer front, up to 5 players can duke it out in a frantic battle mode. It's all about outsmarting your opponents, collecting power-ups for an edge, and avoiding those pesky detrimental skulls. With various themed stages, the competition never gets old. The game's super sharp visuals and responsive gameplay make each level so very addictive, while the catchy sound effects and tunes enhance the bomb-dropping excitement. This title not only delivers engaging multiplayer, but also stands out as a testament of the 16-bit era's charm. KaDash. In the mystical realm of KaDash, evil stirs from the depths as the demonic wizard Balrog surfaces with a vengeance. Plotting to bind his essence with the blood of a human king, he kidnaps Princess Salasa, setting the stage for an epic quest. Heroes must dive into the treacherous dungeons of Castle KaDash, battling through a rich medieval fantasy world brimming with dark magic and monstrous foes. The gameplay here is an inventive fusion of platforming and RPG elements. Choose from 4 unique characters: fighter, mage, priestess, and ninja, each with distinct skills and combat styles. As you progress, you'll encounter a variety of environments, from serene meadows to underwater abysses. The action intensifies with strategic bomb placement, treasure hunting, and engaging with townsfolk to gear up and gain crucial tips. The mix of action-packed battles, level upgrades, and interactive stages makes every playthrough thrilling. On the TurboGrafx-16, KaDash looks amazing. The game's visuals are super sharp and colourful, really showing off what the console can do. Each level's fun to explore with lots of cool details in the background and characters that move smoothly. It's a game that's as much a treat to look at as it is to play. China Warrior. In China Warrior, you step into the shoes of Wang, a martial artist with a style akin to Bruce Lee, on a noble quest to defeat the Dark Emperor perched in the castle Luo Yangshe. This journey isn't just about throwing punches and kicks. It's about mastering the rhythm of combat as you traverse 12 stages across 4 intense levels. Gameplay straightforward, yet challenging. Reminiscent of classics like Kung Fu Master, you'll navigate through levels by dodging or striking enemies and objects, learning patterns to advance after each knockout. Each level culminates in a boss fight, adding a significant hurdle before progressing. The game's control scheme is simple, focusing on timing and precision over a diverse moveset. The game featured massive, intricately detailed sprites that showcased what the console was capable of. The animations were slick and seamless, bringing the action to life without any glitches. Even though the gameplay received mixed reactions, the visuals definitely stole the show, highlighting the TurboGrafx-16 graphic abilities and setting a high standard for character visuals on the platform. Nowadays, China Warrior is a bit of a nostalgic gem, but it still packs a punch as a classic example of early home console beat-em-ups. Cosmic Fantasy. In the Cosmic Fantasy series, you're thrown into the boots of Yu, charismatic leader of an interstellar crime-fighting team. The plot goes thicker as you battle space pirates and confront the villainous Burger, who flips from love-struck to berserk after Yu rebuffs her advances. It's not just any RPG. Imagine a zany blend of sci-fi and raunchy comedy with your crew, including a Tanuki motorcycle robot named Momo and a feline comrade, Nyan, adding to the chaos and fun. Coming to the gameplay, as you navigate through various galaxies, you'll engage in turn-based combat, explore exotic planets, and unravel a story rich with adventure and intrigue. The addition of anime-style cutscenes and voice acting enhances the story, making it feel like you're living in an interactive space opera. On the TurboGrafx-16 CD, Cosmic Fantasy truly dazzles with its audio-visual presentation. The extended cutscenes are beautifully animated, and the voice acting brings each character to life, something quite groundbreaking for RPGs at the time. It showcases the console's ability to deliver a rich multimedia experience that was ahead of its time. If you're up for a cosmic ride with a dash of eccentric humor and exciting adventures, Cosmic Fantasy is your ticket to the stars. Cosmic Fantasy II, Bride of the Psychotic Stars. Next up, we have Cosmic Fantasy II, where you step into the shoes of Van, a 16-year-old from Clan Island, who embarks on an epic quest across time and space. The adventure kicks off when Van's sweetheart Laura is kidnapped by the evil wizard Galam, intent on harnessing her magical powers. This sets Van on a path full of danger and discovery as he journeys to rescue Laura and thwart Galam's diabolical plans. The gameplay sticks to the classic RPG roots with a new take of dungeon crawling, featuring an overhead viewpoint and turn-based battles. Unique to this game is the predictability in combat. Enemies and bosses are limited to basic attacks, which adds a strategic element as players must manage health and attacks without the unpredictability of enemy spells or critical hits. On the TurboGrafx-16, Cosmic Fantasy II really hits it off. The game's extended anime-style cutscenes are fantastic, bringing the epic storyline to life with vibrant animations and early voice acting that were revolutionary for its time. Paired with a gripping soundtrack, this game transforms from a simple RPG into an all-encompassing space adventure, highlighting the console's capacity for delivering multimedia experiences. All in all, Cosmic Fantasy II is a grand space epic where each decision unfurls new parts of the galaxy. Dragon Spirit. In Dragon Spirit, we dive into the scales of Amur, a fierce dragon with a mission to rescue Princess Alicia from the clutches of the serpent demon Zawel. The game's a classic vertical scrolling shooter where you blast your way through 9 challenging levels that range from serene rivers to explosive volcanoes, using both flames and bombs to decimate airborne and ground foes. The game amps up with power-ups that increase your firepower or grant special abilities like homing shots, making each stage a thrilling fight for survival. The gameplay is gripping with its strategic attack methods and dodging onslaughts of enemy fire. Collecting power-ups from destroyed eggs on the battlefield is crucial for beefing up your attacks, especially when facing the tougher bosses that await at each level's end. The system's capabilities are well utilized, delivering smooth scrolling and responsive controls that are essential for the frantic action of a shooter like this. Dungeon Explorer. Dungeon Explorer takes you into the chaotic land of Odessia, where an alien overlord, King Natas, has thrown everything into disarray. Your mission is clear. Band together with one of 8 unique characters, ranging from fighters to bards, and embark on a dangerous quest to retrieve the mythical Aura Stone to defeat Natas and restore peace. The game plays a thrilling bit of dungeon crawling with hack-and-slash action viewed from a top-down perspective, reminiscent of classics like Gauntlet. Each character brings their own share of magic and might, creating diverse playstyles that keep the action fresh. Whether you're healing allies as a bishop or changing the game's music as a bard, there's a role for every type of player. On the TurboGrafx-16, Dungeon Explorer is a stunner. Its colorful, detailed environments and backdrops showcase the console's power, making each dungeon not just a challenge, but a visual feast. The multiplayer aspect is seamlessly integrated, pushing the TurboGrafx-16's capabilities and offering a shared adventure that's rare for the era. Teamwork in Odessia isn't just a strategy, it's survival. Fantasy Zone. In Fantasy Zone, you pilot Opa Opa, a sentient spaceship with a serious mission in a universe that's anything but serious. You're fighting back against an enemy invasion across a cluster of vibrant, colorful planets. The game flips the typical shoot-'em-up script with its whimsical charm and playful design, earning its spot in the cute-'em-up subgenre. The gameplay is both rich and engaging. You zip through each level with freedom to move left or right, thanks to the looping stages, blasting bases and collecting coins to upgrade your arsenal from shop balloons. This includes faster engines, more powerful bombs, quirky weapons, each adding a layer of strategy. After clearing the bases, you face off against quirky bosses, culminating in a boss rush in the final stage. The game's bright pastel-colored worlds and adorably designed enemies make it a standout title that really showcases what the console can do with graphics and animation. The whimsical music and sound effects enhance this otherworldly adventure, making each session as enjoyable as it is challenging. This one's a trip through one of the most eccentric corners of the arcade universe. Final Soldier. In Final Soldier, the stakes are high as you go into the third installment of the Star Soldier series, a renowned vertical scrolling shooter saga. The galaxy is once again under threat, and you're the last line of defense. Pilot your spacecraft through intense battles across 7 varied stages, each brimming with unique enemies and challenging bosses that put your reflexes to the test. The gameplay in this game requires strategic planning through hardcore action. At the start, you get to customize your arsenal by choosing what each color power-up grants, adding a personalized strategy element to the traditional shoot-'em-up mechanics. This twist allows for a more tailored approach as you dodge barrages of bullets and take down foes. Additionally, the game includes a 2-minute and 5-minute challenge mode, perfect for quick blasts of high-score hunting. On the TurboGrafx-16, Final Soldier shines with its super cool graphics and amazing soundtracks. I mean, considering you're playing on Turbo, it really pushed the console's potential. The game not only plays great, but looks and sounds phenomenal too. Galaga 88. Next up, we have this high-octane world of Galaga 88. In the game, you'll be blasting off into space with the sole mission to crush the relentless Galaga forces. This game cranks up the intensity with a plot that sees you piloting the starship Blast Fighter, zapping your way through hordes of alien invaders in an effort to obliterate their home planet. The gameplay is a thrilling mix of nostalgic arcade action. You'll be dodging, dive-bombing aliens and rescuing captured ships to double or even triple your firepower, which is as chaotic as it sounds. When Galaga 88 landed on the TurboGrafx-16, it really came alive, leveraging the console's power to deliver those awesome arcade visuals right into your living room. While it might have been a bit of an underground hit outside of Japan, it really made its mark with captivating gameplay and rich, intricate graphics that really pushed what the TurboGrafx-16 could do. This game isn't just a quick play. It's an epic tale with 4 different endings and various paths to explore, inviting you to dive back in over and over. Galaga 88 shows how you can refresh a beloved classic without stripping away its soul. If you own a TurboGrafx-16, well, this game's essential. It's not merely a nostalgia trip, it's a continuous joyride. Genpei Gtomadden. Get ready to hack, slash, and dive deep into the mythical world of Genpei Gtomadden. In this epic side-scroller, you step into the sandals of Taira no Kagekyo, a resurrected samurai driven by vengeance against the tyrannical Minamoto clan, whose leaders have plunged Japan into chaos with the demonic forces. As Kagekyo, you'll journey across a supernatural version of the Japanese countryside, slicing through enemies and dodging mythical threats. The gameplay here is quite diverse, offering 3 distinct modes. Small mode for regular hack-and-slash action, big mode featuring larger-than-life characters and intense boss battles, and plain mode which switches things up with an overhead perspective. Each stage isn't just a straight path, but a maze of choices with torii gates that teleport you across different, often more challenging parts of the map. This variety ensures that no 2 playthroughs are the same, keeping the action fresh and exciting. When it landed on the TurboGrafx-16, Genpei Gtomadden carried its arcade legacy with pride. It showcased what the system could do with diverse characters and detailed environments. Although it's a tough game, the sheer satisfaction of mastering its challenges make it a standout title on the TurboGrafx-16. JJ and Jeff. Welcome to the world of JJ and Jeff on the TurboGrafx-16, where you take on the role of one half of a hilariously inept detective duo. The game, originally known as Kato-chan and Ken-chan in Japan, captures the essence of a comedy TV show with its quirky characters and unapologetically crude humor, including antics like flatulence and other bathroom gags that push the comedic boundaries in gaming. The gameplay in JJ and Jeff is engaging and varied. You can defeat enemies by jumping on them Mario style, or use more unique methods like spraying them with paint or giving them a good old-fashioned kick. The game's 6 sprawling levels are divided into 4 segments each, stuffed with hidden goodies, from nourishing food that boosts your vitality to cash that can be gambled in slot machine minigames. Kicking random objects uncovers these hidden treats, adding a layer of surprise and discovery to each stage. JJ and Jeff really does its best, cranking out clear, lively graphics that are a perfect fit for its goofy and over-the-top theme. The console's solid graphics chops ensure every prank and playful trick really jumps out at you, adding to the game's overall wacky and wild feel. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is where you channel the martial arts mastery of Jackie Chan himself. Released for the TurboGrafx-16 in 1991, this game packs a punch with its dynamic platforming action and a classic rescue mission. The plot kicks off with Jackie on a daring quest to save his sister, battling through 5 intense levels, each capped with a challenging boss fight. The gameplay in Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is a vibrant mix of brawling and strategic power-up collection. As you progress, you'll encounter frogs that, when hit, release crucial power-ups or health-restoring rice bowls. These power-ups grant special attacks that are essential for overcoming hordes of enemies and tricky obstacles. Additionally, Jackie's special beam-like attack adds a strategic layer, as it's limited to 5 uses but packs a significant punch. Collecting green orbs from defeated foes replenishes life and these critical shots, adding a continuous cycle of tension and relief as you manage resources while fending off attacks. On the TurboGrafx-16, Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu absolutely shines. The game boasts smooth, responsive controls and fluid animations that make every combat move feel genuinely impactful. Although the graphics might be straightforward, they capture the dynamic thrill of a martial arts film perfectly, enhancing the overall gaming experience. This game stands out not just for its nostalgic appeal, but also as a robust test of your reflexes and combat skills. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is far from just a fun throwback. It's a top-notch title on the console that delivers an exhilarating martial arts adventure. Keith Courage in Alpha Zones. Alright, now let's talk about Keith Courage in Alpha Zones. It's a classic action-adventure platformer that landed on the Turbo-16 back in '89. Imagine Earth getting smacked by a giant meteor, not just bringing chaos, but also some unwelcome alien guests from the planet Bad. Yeah, beastly alien dudes. You play as Keith Courage, a hero under the banner of NICE, Nations of International Citizens for Earth, and it's up to you to push these invaders back into space using your trusty sword and the badass Nova suit, a gnarly piece of tech that transforms you into a half-mechanical monster. The gameplay split between 2 zones. The Overworld, which is more laid back with you hopping around platforms, dodging or slashing at airborne cats and other bizarre enemies, and the Underworld, where things get real. Here, you suit up in the Nova suit, which not only buffs up your armor and weapons but lets you dish out some serious damage with bolt bombs that blast in multiple directions. There are 7 levels of this alternating action, each culminating in a boss fight that ramps up the challenge. On the TurboGrafx-16, Heath Courage in Alpha Zones really taps into what the console can do, offering a sharp contrast between its cheerful overworld and the grittier, more intense underworld. It's a solid platformer that mixes straightforward fun with more challenging bits, especially when you slip into the Nova suit. This game's more than just a quest to save the Earth, it's a chance to be the hero across 2 wildly different realms. Lords of Thunder. Here we have Lords of Thunder on the TurboGrafx-16, which is this fantasy-themed horizontal shooter where you'll take up arms as Landis, a valiant knight clad in ancestral armor on a quest to thwart Zagat of the Garuda Empire, has resurrected the evil god Dirik and unleashed 6 dark generals to wreak havoc across the land of Mistral. In Lords of Thunder, you start by selecting one of 6 initial stages in any order, reminiscent of Thunder Force 3. Before each stage, choose from 4 elemental armors that modify Landis' attack types and bomb capabilities, influencing the gameplay's difficulty. The game features a bustling in-game shop where you can use crystals to buy power-ups, health elixirs, or additional bombs, adding a strategic layer to your campaign against the Dark Forces. The action's non-stop, with a constantly scrolling backdrop filled with foes until you face off against the stage's boss. Lords of Thunder shines brilliantly, with its robust capabilities bringing to life the game's vibrant stages and toughest bosses without a hint of slowdown. The frantic pacing, paired with a head-banging hard rock soundtrack, makes each playthrough thrilling and immersive. This game's a metal-infused barrage of heroic battles that test your mettle and your metal. Magical Chase. Now we'll be stepping into the whimsical world of Magical Chase, where you get to take the reins as Ripple, a young witch apprentice who's in a bit of a pickle after accidentally unleashing 6 demons from a forbidden book. Joined by her trusty star companions, Topsy and Turvy, Ripple's mission is to recapture these mischievous spirits and prevent their own transformation into a frog by her stern teacher. In this side-scrolling shooter, you guide Ripple through 6 enchanting levels, battling it out against quirky enemies and bosses while maneuvering around magical obstacles. The gameplay is engaging, with a unique shop system appearing mid-level where you can spend collected gems on vital power-ups, extra lives or health boosts. This adds a strategic element as you decide whether to buff up your offensive capabilities or shore up your defenses. For a TurboGrafx-16 title, Magical Chase is a standout gem, literally and figuratively. Its colorful cartoon-like graphics and smooth parallax scrolling showcase the console's capabilities beautifully, making it a visual treat. The game's charming design and super challenging gameplay were well ahead of its time, providing a thoroughly enjoyable and visually stunning experience on the hardware. Utopia. Utopia is like exploring into a classic tale where you're the hero in a sprawling fantasy world. The game kicks off in the peaceful land of Utopia, where everything's fine and dandy until the evil demon Death crashes the party. He kidnaps Princess Aurora and snags the 8 medallions that keep the land thriving. You play as Jazetta, a young warrior tasked with rescuing the princess and recovering these medallions to restore peace. Gameplay-wise, Utopia is a straight-up homage to The Legend of Zelda. You explore from a top-down view, traversing 4 distinct spheres: land, subterranean, sea, and sky. Each sphere hides crypts where bosses guard the medallions. You'll use swords, fire rods, and a slew of other fantasy gear to battle through goblins, fireball-tossing fish, and more. The game has a mix of puzzle-solving and action, plenty of NPCs giving you tips or items which you'll need to uncover using your arsenal of tools. On the TurboGrafx-16, Utopia shines with its straightforward controls and super colorful world, making full use of the system's graphic potential without the slowdown seen in other games. The game might feel a bit familiar if you're a Zelda fan, but it holds its own with unique elements and engaging world building. Bonks Revenge. Bonks Revenge is a real gem from the classic TurboGrafx-16 days. Imagine it's 1991 and you're in the prehistoric shoes of a super headstrong caveman named Bonk. This dude's not just out to bash dinosaurs. He's on a wild mission to snatch back half of the moon from the nasty King Drool III. What sets this adventure apart is its creatively wacky stages that send you from lush prehistoric backgrounds to wild spots like trains, space, and even underwater scenes. Gameplay-wise, Bonk is the king of headbutts. Using his massive cranium, you can bonk enemies into oblivion, spin through the air to make precision jumps, and smash the ground to cause tremors that knock out nearby threats. It's all about timing and using those head skills wisely. Plus, chowing down on meat gives Bonks some rad power-ups, turning him temporarily invincible or letting him spit fire, adding a spicy kick to his attacks. Bonks Revenge combines solid controls with charming graphics and a quirky storyline, making it a top pick for the console. Yeah, it's not just about jumping and bashing. There's a real strategy in managing Bonks transformations and navigating through the diverse worlds. It's like the ultimate retro party where everyone's invited to bonk their way to glory. Dive in and let the prehistoric party begin. Ninja Spirit. In Ninja Spirit, you get to step into the silent shoes of Tsukikage, a young ninja fueled by a quest for vengeance after his father's death at the hands of a mysterious beast man. The game's setting is an atmospheric alternate feudal Japan where your journey unfolds across 7 harsh landscapes, including shadowy woodlands and treacherous temples. Gameplay is a quintessential platforming experience but with a fresh look of hardcore action. You're armed with the Muramasa katana, capable of slicing foes in any direction, complemented by a variety of traditional ninja weaponry like shurikens, bombs, and the kusarigama. Unique power-ups like the Ninja Ghost Summon add depth, allowing a swarm of shadowy allies to fight alongside you. On the TurboGrafx-16, it offers 2 modes, a slightly forgiving PC Engine mode and the brutal arcade mode, where one hit means instant death. This range of difficulty settings makes the game accessible yet challenging, maintaining the arcade feel that fans love. Nectaris. In Military Madness's first edition, originally known as Nectaris, you're thrust into a high-stakes scenario set on the Moon in the year 2089. The game centers around a critical conflict between the Allied Union forces and the Axis Zenon Empire, who are on the verge of using a supreme atomic missile to destroy Earth. You step into the boots of the Allied commander, orchestrating a tactical counterattack to prevent this catastrophic event. The gameplay is deeply strategic and unfolds on hexagonal maps where you maneuver a variety of units across different terrains, engaging in turn-based skirmishes. Your success hinges on effectively using terrain, positioning units for optimal impact, and strategically capturing enemy factories to both bolster your resources and repair your units. The game scales in complexity with 16 maps that increase in difficulty, demanding sharper strategic planning and foresight as you progress. On the TurboGrafx-16, Military Madness stands out for its intricate gameplay and strategic depth, which was quite ahead of its time, akin to later classics like Advance Wars. Its clear, functional graphics and engaging sound design complement the tactical gameplay, making it a defining title in the turn-based strategy genre on the console. For strategy buffs or anyone looking for a cerebral challenge, Military Madness delivers a thrilling blend of tactical warfare and sci-fi storytelling. It's a must-play for anyone who revels in outsmarting opponents in a high-stakes interstellar conflict. So, rally your troops, outmaneuver your enemies, and save Earth from annihilation. Strategy has never been so critical. Bonk 3, Bonks Big Adventure. So strap in, because Bonk 3, Bonks Big Adventure is yet another crazy trip through the dinosaur kingdom where our favorite head-bonking caveman tackles his nemesis, evil King Drool. This time, the adventure's juiced up with some cool new twists. Ever thought a caveman could grow huge or shrink down just by munching on some candy? Well, in this game, that's your reality. Plus, there's a sweet co-op mode that lets you team up with a buddy, which cranks up the fun factor. The gameplay keeps the classic Bonk formula fresh by introducing these candies that shake up how you navigate the puzzles and obstacles of each level. The cooperative multiplayer really shines, allowing for chaotic fun as 2 players bonk the way through the game together. It's a total blast combining powers and figuring out how to use your size-changing abilities to conquer challenges. For the TurboGrafx-16, Bonk 3 is definitely a standout title. Released at the tail end of the console's lifespan, it squeezes every bit of fun and performance out of the hardware. The graphics are as charming and vibrant as ever, and the gameplay remains engaging despite the series' familiarity. It's a testament to the strength of Bonk as a flagship character for the system. Super Momotaro Dentetsu 2. Super Momotaro Dentetsu 2 throws you into an ultra-fun board game-style adventure across Japan. The game's plot isn't about saving the world or defeating ancient evils. It's a light-hearted railway adventure where you compete to become the most successful railroad magnate in Japan. Using dice rolls to move around a digital board, you buy properties, invest in railways and try to outsmart your competitors in this virtual Monopoly-like game. The gameplay's straightforward but engaging. You'll roll dice, make strategic decisions about where to invest and watch as your empire expands across the map of Japan. The game includes various random events and card draws that can either boost your progress or throw unexpected challenges your way, keeping every playthrough fresh and exciting. For the TurboGrafx-16, Super Momotaro Dentetsu 2 is a hit, perfectly suited for the console's capabilities. Its simple yet charming graphics and addicting gameplay loop make it a standout, especially for those who enjoy strategy and board games. The PC Engine version captures all the quirky fun with crisp visuals and smooth gameplay that keeps you hooked for hours. Super Star Soldier. Super Star Soldier takes the adrenaline-pumping action of its predecessor Star Soldier to the next level. Set 4 years after the original, the game sees Earth threatened once again by the reinvigorated Star Brain Core, now commanded by the evil Mother Brain. You're back in the pilot seat of the Neo Caesar Starfighter, Earth's last hope, blasting through waves of enemies in a frantic bid to save humanity. Gameplay is classic arcade shooting with a vertical scrolling take. As you explore through 8 intense levels, you'll have access to an arsenal of weapons like flamethrowers, electricity, red guns, and heat-seeking missiles, each crucial for surviving the swarms of enemies and tough bosses. Each weapon can turn the tide of battle, making strategic choices key to progression. On the TurboGrafx-16, this game is praised for pushing the console to its limits, especially with its impressive graphics that were considered some of the best on the HuCard format. The game's crisp visuals and fluid animation showcase the TurboGrafx-16's capabilities, making it a must-play for fans of the system. So, if you're ready to dive into a shooter that's both a visual feast and a challenging gameplay experience, Super Star Soldier is your game. Gear up, get shot, and save the Earth from the clutches of Mother Brain again. Remember, in space, no one can hear you scream, but they can definitely see you shoot. Vigilante. Coming in hot is Vigilante, where you're plunged into the gritty streets of downtown New York City during the 1980s, taking on the role of a lone martial artist turned vigilante. Your mission here? To rescue Madonna, a hostage nabbed by the notorious Skinheads gang, ruled by the menacing Giant Devil. It's a classic beat-em-up scenario where you're the only hope against a city overrun with thugs. Gameplay, honestly, is straightforward but intense. Armed with just your fists, feet, and the occasional nunchaku, you'll battle through 5 tough stages filled with relentless gang members. The action ranges from street fights to brawls on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, and every location is packed with enemies wielding everything from knives to chains. The combat is fast-paced and brutal, requiring quick reflexes to fend off attackers and progress through the levels. On the TurboGrafx-16, Vigilante stands out with its crisp graphics as well as animated elements, capturing the arcade feel better than many other ports. This version keeps the adrenaline pumping with detailed environments and a soundtrack that matches the on-screen action, making it a solid choice for beat-em-up fans with a TurboGrafx-16 console. Kind of a roundhouse kick of nostalgia, straight to the face. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with all our latest content and join the conversations. Your support helps us keep bringing you more great videos. Until next time, gamers.